I can get started. I'll just start off with Will Campbell, and I wrote this last night on 98.5thesportshub.com. I think he's the right pick, and I think he's the right pick for one reason. This was the best move, or this move was in the best interest of Drake May. And I think that that's where the Patriots' heads needs to be at right now. Drake May is their best asset. They need to maximize that asset. It is something they have not done at the quarterback position in a long time. Is Will Campbell going to be the greatest left tackle of all time? I don't think so. Is he somebody that can hold down a position where it's very hard to find starting caliber talent and make sure that you're improving Drake May's ability to stand in the pocket and make plays, which is something they've worked on throughout the offseason? They added Morgan Moses. Now this, yes. So, people are going to hem and haw about Ashton Genty and was there really the value there at 4 and this and that. I think Will Campbell is the best pick they could have made with Drake May in mind, and I think what's best for Drake May is what's best for the football team.
Mazz.
Okay, I want to go with Shadur Sanders, who was not selected last night in the first round, despite speculation throughout the draft process that he could go as high as number 3. Number 3, and there were still people who believed last night that the Giants are going to take him at 3 before they took Abdul Carter. And what I want to know is the why, and I would love to know the real why on Shadur Sanders. I think it's because he's not good enough. There was a lot of, again, written or reporting done on Shadur Sanders and about how his game really wasn't good. A lot of people didn't see him as a first-round talent in the draft, and nonetheless, because he's a quarterback, people had the Giants taking him at 3, maybe the Raiders taking him at 6, the Steelers ultimately being the last stop on the train at 21. And the part of the story that, again, that interests me, had he gone number 3, he would have gotten $45 million guaranteed. Ballpark. $45 million. By the time it got to 21, the number at that slot, because all the salaries are slotted in the draft, as we know, the number was $18 million. So just that drop from 3 to 21 cost him $27 million. And then he's now into the second round. Cleveland has 2 picks in the top 4, I believe it is. If Cleveland takes him at the first pick of the second round, because they need a quarterback, he'll get about 11 or 12 million guaranteed. But every spot that goes by, this guy is losing millions upon millions of dollars. His father is the ultimate businessman when it comes to sports. And there's a lot of speculation out there that a lot of people looked at the combination and talent. The combination of talent and Dion's presence and the kid's attitude and said, not worth it to pick up and have to deal with that kind of player or that kind of money. Still no Shadur Sanders, and I would love to know what really hurt him, whether people just didn't like his meetings with teams, which are horrible.
I was going to say, don't you think that was a big part of it?
I think it was all a factor, but if you're not as good as you think and you're an a-hole, you deserve this.
That was a pretty good moment in the draft where the Giants come back on the board with the trade, and it's like, okay, here we go. And they send it to the Sanders living room, and Dion's there, and Jackson Dart.
Yep, Jackson Dart.
That was a good draft moment right there. My opening take will just be, we can talk about other things, folks, if you want. The Celtics injury list seems to be getting longer, and I think we can circle back to the Tatum story, the injury, how he played, Missoula's reaction to it. Now Jaylen Brown is back on the injury list with that knee. So there's some stuff there to chew on with the Celtics. Red Sox dropped the last couple in really disappointing fashion to Seattle. Garrett Crochet not looking so good. You can put that on the board. We can still go back over that Bruins press conference. That was a whopper on a lot of different fronts. So that's on the board. I'll just give you my quick draft take, and this is what I'm arriving at today. The Patriots fans, media, Barth, you're going to have to make a decision and pick a lane when it comes to your defense of Will Campbell and his arm length. Because that is the story with Will Campbell. It's always been the story with Will Campbell, as much as you want to talk it away right now. It was the story in college. It was the story before he got measured at the combine, and he came up short. And so now I'm being told one of 2 things, Barth.
Yeah.
You've got to pick one. You don't get both.
Okay.
The first thing that I heard was, well, it doesn't really matter. It's just a half inch. It's 3/4 of an inch here. Put 3/4 of an inch, Felger, on a ruler and tell me if that's going to make a difference. Or, use your thumb from the tip of your thumb to the first wrinkle there's an inch. Now, it's less than that. You tell me that's going to make a difference? You can do that one. Or you can do the other thing that I've heard a lot the last couple of days, which is, well, the measurements were bad. The combine, they undershot everybody. At his pro day, he was 33 inches. He wasn't 32 and 5/8. He was 33. You don't get both. You can't tell me in one breath the measurement doesn't matter. It's just a half width of your thumb there, Felger. That doesn't matter. And then tell me, by the way, the measurements were wrong. Well, wait a minute. I thought you just said the half inch doesn't matter. Pick one. Barth, pick one.
It's B. I've been on B since about 5 minutes after that initial combine.
So
measurement
arm length
came out.
matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, arm length matters.
And I think his arms are long enough.
Okay, arm length matters. Good. At least let's talk on the same plane, people.
There wasn't a convincing answer from Barth.
No, but sure wasn't. He didn't want to. What?
Me?
What?
No, I've been on. I wrote
This is
about this when it happened. I'm on B.
This is what fans and the media cartel that wants to circle the wagons around the Patriots and support the pick. It doesn't matter. It's just a half inch. It's ridiculous. It doesn't matter. Scar said it doesn't matter. And by the way, he measured actually 33. Well, wait a minute. You just told me it didn't matter. Pick one. Pick one. If it was a bad measurement, then you obviously, and you want to tell me about the bad measurement, then you obviously care about the arm length. So, arm length matters. Good. Fair enough. Or you can do the other thing, which is, it's just the width of your thumb, Felger. Put it on a ruler. It doesn't matter. Well, he actually measured 33. It doesn't matter. I don't care if he's 32 and a half or 33 and a half. It doesn't matter. Pick one. You see what I'm saying? You don't get both.
Of course, yeah,
you don't,
totally.
If we're at the adults table and we're not just, trying to make yourself feel better about the pick.
Yeah.
Which again, I will say is your right as a fan. No problem. I'm not saying that makes you a bad person. I just think that makes for a lousy talk show. You pander to the fans or try and pop up the team. We're not going to do that. We're going to be intellectually honest about the thing. Does arm length matter or not? And if it doesn't matter, then you don't need to tell me what his arm lengths are because you don't care.
Oh, to me, they definitely matter.
So
Yeah, they definitely matter.
pick one, Barth.
So I'm picking B. I've been on B.
B is what?
The measurements are wrong. But if I'm going to sit here and say the measurements are wrong, which I've been on that side the whole time, we have to talk about him as having 33-inch arms because I think that's the more accurate number. I think the combine got it wrong. There were guys that got shortchanged a lot more than him. Marcus Mabeau lost a whole inch. He went from 33 to 32. There's guys at other positions.
Here we go.
JT Tuimoloau from Ohio State lost 2 inches.
I love that.
Yep.
Pass rush from Ohio State.
Yeah, he lost a whole inch.
So I'm going B.
That is
I think the
great.
measurements were bad. I wrote about it at the time on 985thesportshub.com. You can find it. It's there. I think the measurements were bad. The NFL will never admit it because why would they?
So arm length matters.
It's not everything.
Wait,
but yes,
why
it
the
matters.
pause? I don't
Yes,
understand
it
why
matters.
was the gap in the answer there.
It matters. It matters.
You're still hesitating.
Because it's
Does
not
arm length
it's not the only factor, but it matters.
Does
It's a
arm
factor.
length matter?
Yes.
I didn't ask you, is it
Okay.
the only
Yes,
thing? I
it
said,
matters.
Does it matter?
Yeah, of course it matters. It's reach. Reach is a big part of playing
Yes.
the position.
Okay.
It matters. It definitely matters.
Most elite tackles are 34 inches or more. Okay?
It's all about being able to grab. It's all about that. That first grab is everything.
Most Pro Bowlers, elite guys, have long arms. So it matters.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all. It matters. And maybe they mismeasured them. Now we're on the same thing. You don't get to say, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, and he's 33, Felger. The measurements were wrong. Well, wait a minute. You just told me arm length doesn't matter. So let's just, if we just want to defend the pick because we want to support the team, that's a whole different thing, and I don't care to do that. That bores me. So let's have a real discussion about the thing.
It's the only one I would like to have.
The second I heard about the arm length, I said he's out. Because historically, that arm length doesn't play. And even if you give him the extra half inch, it's really not enough. Because arm length matters. And I felt that way not that I felt this way 6 months ago. I didn't even think twice. Whoever thought about this? But you're drafting a tackle, and the top tackle is short arms. So it got put onto the table this draft season. It was highlighted going into the combine. You said, Barth, The most important thing from this combine was Will Campbell's arm length.
I believe main event was the exact term I used.
Thank you. And he didn't measure up. So I haven't changed. You people have, which I would say is fine, but it's not. Just admit it. You've changed your thinking because you want to feel good about the pick as a fan.
Yep.
Or you cover the team and you just want to get with the Joneses, and which is okay too. I know how the sausage is made. Doesn't make you a bad person.
But am I allowed
Or you've been talked into it. Yes.
Am I allowed where it was a bad measurement? The different number came out. It was kind of proven that, hey, this number is probably more accurate, and I want to go off the more accurate number, which is 33 inches.
That's fine. So arm length matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Length matters, and this kid has short arms.
He does.